Okay, and finally what we're going to do now is add some protected content to our web application. In the previous video we looked at how to add users in two different ways. So now that we have some users, we're going to add some content that only the logged in users can see. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my website and I'm going to right click and I'm going to add a new folder, because everything that you protect in a web application needs to be in its own folder. So I'm going to create a folder, call it secret folder, and inside of that folder I'm going to add its own web config file so that I can tell this folder who can see the content in it and who can't. So I'm going to right click my folder and I'm going to add a new item, and I'm going to go all the way down here and add a web configuration file. It's called web config. I'm not going to change its name. I'm going to add it. And it's just an empty web config file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my account folder. Remember, we were there before. And I'm going to go to the web config that's already in the account folder. And I'm going to take the contents of that web config file, copy that so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Go to my new web config file in secret folder here and copy that content right in there. Now the difference here is that I don't want to protect just one page inside of this folder. I'm going to want to protect everything that's in this folder. So I'm going to get rid of this location element, because in my account folder, the reason that the location element is in the web config in the account folder is because the only file that we really want to protect in there, or the only page that we really want to protect in this account folder, is the manage logins folder. In our secret folder, our new one, we want to protect everything that's in here. So we're just going to let this folder default to requiring everyone who has not logged in to log in so they can see the content here. So this is our web config in our new secret folder. Now I'm going to create some secret content. So I'm going to right click and add a new item. And I'm just going to add a new web form. And I'm going to call it secret formula. Click add. This is where we're going to store the secret formula for rocket fuel. So we're going to put an H1 in here and we're going to say secret formula, oops, for rocket fuel. I suppose that's not really secret anymore, is it? And then we'll just put some content here. And so since I don't know what the secret formula for rocket fuel is, I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm going to save this, and then I'm going to build my solution. And now let's try to go to that secret formula web page by browsing to it. Now remember, what we did is we set up a web config in this secret folder that in essence says deny everyone who's not logged in. Okay, so I'm going to right click on secretformula.aspx, view that in the browser. And you're going to see that what happens is I get redirected to the login page. Now remember, we created a user. Her name was Molly. So I'm going to type her in and I'm going to use her password. And we'll log in as Molly. And there we go. We've got the secret formula for rocket fuel, and we've now protected a piece of our application. Once again, to protect a piece of your application using this pre-written template that we've used to create our ASP.NET web application, create a folder. Inside the folder, create a web config, and in the web config, specify how you want to deny users. Create some content in that folder. And now what's happened is you've just created content that is protected against anyone who hasn't logged in. Remember, we learned how to create users. So now your users will have access to this content.